I come here for a shootout, right? A proper shootout with some proper men. Like Colonel Custer and Geronimo. Have you ever heard of them? No. Because you were too busy in your pinny baking berry cakes, weren't you?
During the meanwhilest... No.
Well, hello, it's Dexter and me, and we are back with a proper Tech Tuesday video today. And it's the first time I filmed in here for a while, so I'm not sure if I've shown you my lightly updated setup, but I've added a second ring light and a microphone boom arm, to my setup, making it much more light, obviously, because some of the videos were a little bit on the dark side. I've got to be honest. Not just the content, the actual physical appearance of them, but adding this microphone boom arm and my Rode, what's on it? Rode, what's it called? Wireless Micro Go or whatever. It's the proper. Hang on, one of these. There we go. There's one of those on it. So it's now much easier for me to just set it up and start recording a video. So that's what I've done. And today's video is a good old-fashioned during the meanwhilest lens shootout. Now, I'm incredibly fortunate and lucky, and I know I am, to be able to own a number of excellent lenses. I think the last count it was either 11 or 12, and that's across Fujifilm, Nikon or Nikkor for the lenses. I've only got one Canon FD lens now, and if you watch one of Alan's videos, it may be out now or it may be a forthcoming one, he's given that and another Canon FD and an adapter away. So there's this, I've only got one Canon FD lens now, the 50mm, and I've also got my El Cheapo Chinese Mica and 7 Artisans ones. But the two lenses I want to look at today are these. It's the 35mm f2, and this one on my Fujifilm XE1, the gorgeous, lovely 27mm f2.8. They are both from Fuji's mid-range of lenses, so they're not like the plastic fantastic XC range, and they're not the f1.2 and f1.4 fast primes like the 16mm I got up there. They are good, solid, budget, relatively inexpensive then lenses. So what do they offer? The Fujifilm, the dedicated Fujifilm shooter? Well, they're both small and light, so they sit really nicely on any Fujifilm X-mount body, and they both offer that standard full frame equivalent focal length of 40 to 50 millimeters, so ideal for general walk around every day, or indeed street photography. They are both weather sealed or weather resistant. They're WR lenses, so as long as you have a weather resistant camera, you are good to go for shooting in all conditions. Both cameras have dedicated clicked and numbered aperture collars. The 27mm goes from f2.8 in 1/3 stops rightly up to f16, and then into A for full auto or shutter priority shooting. The 35 goes from f2, obviously, in similar clicked 1/3 stops up to f16 and then A. The difference being, to get out of the A position on the 27mm, you have to press a clutch or a switch to enable you to get back out, which you don't have to do on the 35. Quite why Fuji does that on some lenses and not on others, I've no idea. I just wish they would standardise it and put that lock really across all of them. despite having a shared closest focus distance of around about 30 centimeters, neither lens is built for macro photography really. But autofocus performance is crisp, fast enough, so you're not going to miss any sort of, you know, candid street moment or valuable, you know, family scene if you are relying on autofocus. Aesthetically, if such things are important to you, the 27mm looks far more at home on the smaller bodied XE or XA range of cameras, or something like an XT10, 20 or 30, while the 35mm, to my eye anyway, sits nicer on the larger XT2, 3, 4, the forthcoming 5, or the, you know, the X Pro range. But to that end, the 27mm really does make for a very, very light, small, stealthy street, you know, kit, which you can fit in any, you know, jacket pocket or, you know, small bag. But the proof, as they say, is in the images. Well, it's in the pudding, but the pudding in this case is the images. So let's get out and about with both lenses, and for sake of comparison I shot the 27mm on my XT4 and the 35 on my XT2 because they have similar, you know, resolutions. Had I used the XE1 where the 27mm normally resides, it's only got 16 megapixels, and I wanted to make the images as, you know, similar as I possibly could. But before we do delve into the images themselves, what a reminder for me of what a great stills camera the XT4 is. Now, I've used it since I've had it primarily as a video camera. It's filming me right now. Very, very rarely used it as a stills camera, but oh my word, what a lovely, lovely camera it is to shoot. The image quality it's sublime, it's second to none. Yeah, so I'm going to shoot stills in it, I think, an awful lot more. The XT2, on the other hand, that needs no introduction. It's a photographic legend, isn't it? Let's be honest. Let's look at these images anyway.
My lover's got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no power, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no fame, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. Want more and more, people just want more and more freedom and love. What he's looking for, want more and more, people just want more and more freedom and love. What he's looking for, freed from desire, mind and senses purified, freed from desire, mind and senses purified, freed from desire, mind and senses purified, freed from desire. Na 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 na
conclusion, it's really hard to pick a winner, and I certainly can't pick one lens over the other. I mean, yes, the 35 will give you slightly better low light performance, slightly better bokeh maybe, and slightly more in the way of, you know, reach. But a 27mm has that stealthiness and that more real world field of view to its advantage. So in the end, I can't really recommend one over the other.
Wasting my time. waste of our time.
That's right, it's been a typical During the Meanwhilest consumer advice video. But I think in the end, it's going to boil down to what camera you shoot with. If you've got one of the smaller bodied XEs, XAs, XT10, 2030, maybe the XS10, yeah, then the 27mm is going to be more at home on one of those small cameras. That's not to say you can't shoot it on an XT4, you know, because obviously you can. Just looks more at home on a smaller camera. Whereas with its more perhaps traditional, larger lens design, this one looks far more at home on, you know, XT2, 3, 4, or one of the X Pro range of cameras. For me though, well, I'm glad I'm fortunate enough to own both, and I've got no plans to get rid of either, to be honest. I enjoy shooting with both of them. Anyway, that is it for this complete and utter waste of your time. Really sorry, to be honest. I can't come to a conclusion. They're both excellent. That's my conclusion. There we go. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you ever so much for watching, if you have watched this far, that is. Dexter and I really do appreciate all the views we get. Really do. We love reading your comments, good, bad, indifferent, whatever. We love reading them. And I do strive to reply to all civil ones, at least anyway. Yeah, so in the meantime, before our next video, stay safe, stay well, look after yourselves, your loved ones, your little pets, and look after your standard lenses too, and they will look after you. And be nice, okay? See you on the next one.
Oh, your brother's done a runner.
Nah, he's just genuinely disappointed with you, that's all.